Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Friday, December 27th, 2019. My name is Rich, and joining me for the last time this year is Bijan. How you making out?
I'm good, my man. Wow. 2019 already over. I am so ready for it to be over. Like, sayonara, I'm over it.
It was a long year. Lots happened.
Crappy year.
And I'm sorry we did not get this episode out on time this year. It's the holidays. We've had a lot going on. Bijan's been a little under the weather, let's say. And,
yeah.
It's been a little rough.
I spent basically like the past 8 days in the hospital. It's been a rough time, but I'm sticking through it, y'all. I'm fine. Don't get all worried or whatever. I'll be fine. But yeah, just a crappy time of year. Well, I shouldn't say crappy time of year. A crappy time of year for me. But Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
I hope you're all having a joyous time.
Yeah, don't let Bijan's hospitalization ruin your holiday spirit at this point. But
Man, I'm such a Grinch.
I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad everything's good right now and you're able to record. And yeah, we're here to actually talk a little bit about UNX Now. And this video that's gone semi-viral, I don't know, it might even go further. It's getting a lot of traction. The top 10 hardest ninja obstacles.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty prolific YouTuber. I would butcher his name immediately. Do you want to give it a try, Rich?
Okay, let's see. It is Magnus Mitbo. I'm just gonna say Mitbo.
Sure. I mean, that's better than anything I do. So
yeah, he's a rock climber YouTuber. He's joined by Anton Fomenko, a World OCR Ninja Champion, and they are training with the Papal Ninja, Sean Bryan.
Yeah, in a really dope gym. But
yes.
We're covering what, UNX first?
Yeah, let's do UNX first. Let's take a look at that. If you remember, we were joined by some representatives from UNX a couple months ago maybe now, including Ethan Swanson. Krista Ganji is also involved. This whole big channel that they started up, paid subscription, streaming service, leagues, sponsorship deals, like crazy thing they've got going on. Very, very cool. They're moving it now from a paid subscription service to all over to their YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So they're ending the paid streaming service. You will be able to get everything on their YouTube channel, which is great for us.
Yeah, and I think it's a fantastic move. To build a brand, to build anything, first you need that barrier of entry. You need word getting out, things like that. And leading into ANW Junior and maybe just ANW proper, with the filming at the very least, at the beginning of the year is when a lot of excitement starts to come up with A&W. So now's the time for them to kind of just get like a fresh start on YouTube. And just so everybody knows, don't go there yet. Go to the channel, in particular what we're going to be covering in a second. They do have some footage there, but a lot of their content is going to begin uploading on January 1st. So at the beginning of the year is when a lot of that content's going to be transitioning over there. And I've got to say, the production values are so top-notch. This is going to be really, really fun stuff for everybody that's missed out. And overall, I just think this is a really, really good move for them. How do you feel, Rich?
I feel stupid for not subscribing sooner because I'm subscribed to the YouTube channel, and we went and checked out one of the big videos that they posted, and you're right, top notch. Like, we knew it was good. We've seen individual runs, we've seen bits and pieces, but to see the full competition and how it flows, the commentary from Grant McCartney and Evan Dollard is just spot on. Like, everything, the course itself is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't ask for more. This is the best of Ninja outside of A&W.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing stuff. In particular, when you compare it to whatever we watched the other day, that was just brutal. I'm sorry.
Barbados Ninja Warrior?
Yeah.
Or Ninja Throwdown?
This is so much better. It's not even the same hemisphere. But yeah, like this was very high production values. And I don't know, anything else you want to talk about this move to YouTube before we actually start covering it?
No, I do. In spite of Bijan saying don't go there, I actually highly encourage you to go there. Subscribe, check it out. You can see a couple runs. It's worth watching. Some of your favorite ninjas are on there. You can see Barclay Stock. You can see Jessie Graff, Drew Drechsel, Daniel Gill. They're all competing, and it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a proper ninja competition. It's everything that people always ask for, to be honest. There's so many people that complain about the stories and the backgrounds. I was like, they want to just see runs. And I'm like, this is it. This is everything you've ever asked for.
Yeah, and what's really great is just because you have Jessie Graff, Barclay Stockett, Drew Drechsel, and everybody, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to complete the course. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, they're human, and these are some tough courses, and there are some really, really pleasant surprises in each of these competitions. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really great stuff. And please, yeah, definitely, I'll reiterate what Rich said. Subscribe now, don't wait or anything like that. Check it out. It's great.
And I have to apologize. If I had known it was that good, I actually would have watched the whole thing. We did skip around a bit. I'm probably going to end up sitting down and watch the whole darn thing here when I get a chance later tonight. It's really good stuff. So, but we're going to talk about some of the runs we did watch, and we'll talk about the results of the what's posted there. Then now the first full video that's posted to their YouTube channel, the UNX Major 1 Finals Run 1.
Yeah, and Rich, you're going to be having the link in our show notes. So if you're interested, just go there, and yeah, let's get into this, man.
All right, so taking a look at the course itself. It's really, really challenging. Like, it's top level, but it's... How do I describe this? I don't want to make it sound like it's not like high quality, but it's kind of a low budget but high skill course. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of rings and transitions and ropes and things. It's just very, very straightforward. I like it. I like how... It doesn't require finicky, crazy resets or anything else that I could see. It's just a straight-up ninja course.
Yeah, I didn't consider that, but there isn't anything that requires a really delayed reset, which may have helped out the flow of this whole competition. I really didn't consider that, but that's a really good point. And I don't know, just the difficulty was really high. It had a nice balance of different techniques and skills. Actually, it's a pretty technique heavy course. I mean, not a lot of these are just, you have to have upper body strength and that's in, just hold on. It's really a lot of transition obstacles where you have to figure it out very quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be a little hard to describe them because they're familiar but not being direct rip-offs from the show or anything, so it's a little hard to describe.
Yeah, sorry, before you go in, I just also wanted to point out that the women's competition and the men's competition had different courses. Or
different
slightly,
endings.
I should say.
They were virtually the same with different endings. Both incredibly difficult. I'm not sure why they changed it, to be honest. I would have seen... Yeah, but whatever the decision they made, you can't look at one and think that it's... I don't think, anyway, more difficult than the other. Maybe a little more, but they're both incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
We had some steps to start it off, kind of similar to what we've seen before, into basically an alleyway of rings and bars. So swinging and transitioning from rings to bars and back.
Yeah, and every single one was different. Like, they look similar, but there's always these, like... periodic differences, be two swing rings, and then a bar, but it's got like this little mat thingy over it, so you got to keep that steady. And then they've got another set of rings, but the rings are angled a different direction, so you have to catch it differently. And I won't go into every single one, but it's something like that where they may look similar, but there's always this different thing that you always have to be aware of.
Good point. Very good point. They're moved from there onto some rings that were on like a climbing wall. So there's a rope with a ring hanging down. You'd have to jump up and grab the ring and use it to transfer, like run along the wall sideways and grab the next ring.
Yeah, this is straight out of the Spartan races and stuff, man. I saw this. I was like, oh, I love these things. They're so fun.
After that was a rope that they had to climb up and then trapeze over to some cannonballs. Like this very long transition that looked very, very difficult. And we saw some big competitors fall there, actually.
Yeah, that was probably one of the craziest. I mean, this gap must have been 6 to 9 feet. It was huge. Like, you see these people, and it's pretty much like the distance of when you do why am I forgetting the name? You know what I'm talking about. Stage 2, the big one that gets out everybody.
The rope jungle?
Swingy thingies. No. The end of Stage 2 last year.
You're talking about... Wingnut Alley?
There you go. Yeah. So it's kind of like the Wingnuts where you do that giant transition, like swing, like they do a transition and it looks like they're flying for like 2 seconds. It's kind of like that. And this trapeze is there and it's a very small bar. And one thing that I'm just thinking the whole time is you grab this thing from such a drastic distance. That's a lot of weight going right into your fingertips. And I can easily see people like just slipping right off that and doing like a flip, and landing on their back of their head or something. So I was very glad none of that happened. But, that's actually a really scary obstacle and really difficult too.
Yeah, they had to grab so high on the rope or they end up like having to lift themselves up so high as they're swinging because it's pretty low to the ground.
Yeah, that too. I hate obstacles like that, man. Maybe it's because like I don't consider myself super tall, but I'm taller compared to most ANW competitors. Obstacles where they're like just super close to the ground, you have to keep your legs up. I hate that crap.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes doing that. After that's kind of where it splits, right? So for the women's course, it goes into I called them bird boxes. I think I heard them call that essentially like cliffhanger ledges hanging on little birdhouses, essentially. They had to jump to and transition from one to the next. Then there's a long rope climb leading down. And then, okay, so we've had to describe this one before. The last obstacle for the women is one that we saw demoed by Evan Dollard and Grant McCartney a few weeks ago when we watched the videos. Mm-hmm. And actually, Ryan Stratus described it for us very easily, so now I can't remember how to do it. So when they jump, they have to jump, and they have a ring in each hand, and they have to catch it on either side of a bar that's hanging there, like a trapeze, basically. Hook it from either end, hang on to the rings, they gain their momentum, and then swing to another bar. They have to like pull them out and then push them back in to grab hold of the next bar. Make sense?
I mean, it's better than anything I'd say, so.
And then they're able to transition off of it, hit the buzzer, and everything's glorious.
It's super difficult. It looks insane.
Yes, and that was like the failure point for most of the, like, no one was beating that. It was a very much a ninja killer. And for the men, now let's see if I can remember this exactly. It was called the flying boards that they went to. I think that was the first one right after that. They had to imagine the floating boards, but they put them like 10 feet away. You got to jump to the first one and catch it from the sides, transition around it, and then make your way onto the next one. Like, that looked incredibly difficult.
Yeah, crazy. The boards definitely seemed heavier. There was definitely some weight to them, which I think might have actually been very helpful because it gives them some of the, like kicking off pressure, but I definitely think there was a lot getting used to of that obstacle. But I think the weight played a different, a dynamic for it all.
And as if that one wasn't bad enough, after that, I wish I had gotten the name of this one, but it was essentially like the sky hooks. So imagine if you can remember that, it's like the ring where it was on like a peg and they had to launch themselves from one hook over to another one, and then basically something like that. But imagine it was just a rope hanging over the peg. So you have to jump, grab a rope from both sides simultaneously, because if you grab one side before the other, the rope's just going to fall off of the hook. And then use that rope to hold yourself and then swing over and hook it onto another hook that's on the other side, like a coat hook kind of thing.
This was probably the most brutal obstacle on of the entire thing.
Yeah.
This looked awful, and I call this obstacle the hand shredder because, I mean, it's hard to describe, but if you guys grab a rope, it's not smooth. Like, the ridges will grind into your skin. And then with the traction that you have to do to hold on to this, especially when they're pulling down and all of your body weight is going downwards on them, you really have to squeeze hard. So you're squeezing hard into this ridge thing as basically like sandpaper, and then you're transitioning. And every time you transition, it's basically the friction is just rubbing your skin off. I can't imagine how painful that obstacle must have been. And it's not like it's one or two like transitions.
Yeah.
There were like multiple transitions. There must have been like 5 of them. I mean, this just looked awful. Like, I mean, it was a really cool obstacle, but it looked awful to do.
That was what got me. It looked brutal. It looked very, very difficult, but it also looked incredibly long. I don't know if it was 5, but it was a lot. Like, they had to, there was at least 3 ropes, right? So if you want to count each jump, then maybe. It was nuts. So we watched a few different runs here. I do want to shout out a couple of them here. First person we saw take the course was Alessandra Mirto, 16 years old. She's only had 3 years of ninja training, and she looked incredibly strong. Like, I was impressed right away. And that's what kind of reminded me that this is the finals, right? These people have already proven how good they are. So everybody we were watching was really, really talented. She made a little slip on the ring transfers on the wall that we described, but she was able to recover and ended up going out on the bird boxes. And I was like, wow, this is the first person to run, like, how, and I don't know what order they're going in. It's like, how good are these competitors? Because she was incredible.
Yeah, she was. Sorry, I just realized that Rachel Brown ran. Isn't Rachel Brown the girl that we were like covering like our first year?
Yep. Yes, she is.
I totally skipped over that, so sorry. I'm just like totally watching this run right now. I'm like, oh my god! It's like my long lost like niece or something that's running, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm rooting for her so much.
That's funny. We did watch Jessie Graff run, who was the third to run in the video. If you want to skip ahead a little bit, she ended up, she was looking incredibly strong. She did seem to be taking a little bit longer and struggling a bit on the alley of all the different holds, but she just always looks incredibly strong. She ended up lying down on the rope to get a rest before doing that long transition that we were talking about that looks so difficult, the rope to the trapeze, and ended up missing. She was using her feet on this rope swing and just ended up getting sideways and wasn't able to recover. I guess it was similar to how she had gone out earlier in the competition, and during the interview, she had said that she just wasn't feeling as strong lately, which I have heard her talking about as well on, I believe it was on the official ANW podcast.
I mean, hey, it's the downtime, It's well, I mean, for Jessie Graff, I guess there is no downtime. Let's be real. Whatever. I mean, her feeling weak is probably stronger than 99% of the human population. So it's
she's feeling mortal lately, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's worth checking out. So that is a testament to how strong and difficult this course is, right? So Alessandra, who ran first, didn't made it further than Jessie Graff had.
Yeah, that's cool. Can we talk about Kylie Hughes right now?
Sure we can.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This girl is amazing. She looks she barely looks like she's 10. She looks like a little kid. I think they said she was 13. She is phenomenal. She is a phenom. What's the cutoff for ANW Junior? I'm pretty sure 13-year-olds are on that show, right?
Yeah.
She's got to be on this show. Oh my God. Like 100%. This girl is amazing. Guys, if you watch this whole competition, go to 25 minutes in, at least watch Kylie Hughes run. I can't even imagine how much like of a prodigy this girl is. It's not only that she just goes through these obstacles with such finesse, with such ease, but it's the speed that she does it. she never seems to be winded. She never seems to be phased. And I don't know. I just think the world of this girl. Like, and I'm sorry, I call her girl because she looks like she's a little kid, but like she's amazing.
Well, she's 13. I think you're safe in calling
She is
her
a little
girl.
kid. I mean, I'm 31. To me, anybody under the age of 17 is like a little kid. I'm sorry.
But that's the thing. Like, so, Bijan, thank you for catching that. He had pointed me to it, so I ended up watching her run specifically. Absolutely, like everything you said, I second. I couldn't believe it. I expected her to do well, like, because I thought, well, if you're flagging that run to me, it must be pretty good. She was absolutely amazing, right? Beats the whole course. The first person to do that. Beats all these things that we saw other competitors struggling on. Just all around fantastic. Like you said, her confidence, the speed that she was doing things, there was just no nitpicking that run. It was flawless.
Yeah, like all these obstacles that even the top ninjas are struggling through. Like she just makes it look easy. These bird boxes that like took out a lot of people did it like I think within like 10 seconds. Like she just did it like it was nothing, man. I don't know. I really am high up on her. Now, I mean, since this is the finals, it can't even be like, oh, maybe she just trains in that area or something. I mean, it's kind of just she was really good at these obstacles. And I don't know. I really think that she could be another prodigy in the making. I guess we're not really doing it, but whatever. I don't care. Kylie Hughes, you are the athletically profound run of the night. Because why not? I mean, this was dope. Seriously, guys, go out of your way to watch this.
Yeah, if you watch anything from what we're talking about today, go watch this for sure. Go watch Kylie. We did check out Barclay Stockett's run as well, the 49-minute mark. And as much as we talked about how smooth and fast Kylie was, Barclay was ridiculously fast. She was like Lauren Ball speed going through this thing.
Yeah. I mean, this course is kind of built for Barclay Stockett when you really think about it.
It is. It's a very gymnastics-heavy course, and she just had no problem. She didn't even stop to chalk her hands. She just kept going and going through this thing. She did not end up beating the course, but if she had, she would have had the top time because she was just going at an insane speed.
Oh, yeah.
She fell, just to be clear, on the second to last, or the last obstacle that we described, where you have to jump and put the rings on either side of the bar. She made the first transition. Actually, she made it to the second. Did she fall off the first bar or the second bar?
Hang on, I got it right here.
I think it was the second bar. I think she made it over, but then it slipped off the second bar.
It was the second bar. Oh, yeah. Actually, no, she completed. What's crazy? This was a weird one. She actually made both transitions. She actually caught the second bar, but then in her swing, like she was preparing to swing to the final dismount, one of the rings just slid off that.
Yeah.
It was weird because she actually did the hard part.
She did. Fantastic run as always. I could watch Barclay all day. It's nice to be able to watch her in the off season. Like, why are we not watching? Well, I guess now we have no reason not to watch them.
Yeah, shame on us. We don't.
I can't get over the commentary. I really am, and the production value. Like you said, all the camera angles, everything's just spot on in this thing.
Yeah, and big shout out to commentators. It was actually really, really good. Funny, witty, energetic, not annoying. I don't know what else. Like, good stuff.
Yeah, and they're doing it live too, right? That's the thing. Like, as much as Matt and Akbar do, there's a lot of editing that goes into it coming out, how we hear it and everything, and they can do post-production and everything. I get the impression this is just their live commentary, and they do a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
One last run that I watched, I don't know if you want to talk about any other ones, Michael Torres, just to see the men's course. He was looking very, very strong, making really good time through it. This is where I get to see the back end of the course being a little bit different. The flying boards. I honestly thought he was going to go down there because it just looks so crazy difficult, but he made it. And the struggle, the epic struggle that he went through on the sky hooks with ropes that we were talking about. I didn't know how he was keeping going. I love the way he wiped out. It wasn't like a typical fall. It was on the backswing that he ended up peeling off and just face planted onto the mats, just looking exhausted.
That looked brutal. One thing that shocked me was actually Najee Richardson ran this course. And like Barclay Stockett, Najee comes from a gymnastics background, but he actually fell pretty, I wouldn't say early on in the course, maybe halfway through where the floating boards were. He kind of just slipped off the boards. But that really surprised me because he was looking epically strong, just flying through it like it was nothing. But I mean, this competition, this course, it was tough, and it wasn't any type of course where like the top ninjas were just gonna plow through it.
Yeah, one interesting note about the way that they run these courses is they don't get to see the other people run, right? So
I
UNX
forgot about
sequesters
that.
them, so they don't know where they can see their time and where people are falling, but they don't know any techniques anyone else use. They don't have that advantage that we normally see.
That's crazy, man. I totally forgot about that. So they must be like I don't know, like if it's wrestling or like fighting or whatever. Like, are they like in their own locker room or something, just waiting to be called?
Yeah, basically, I think it's similar to like climbing competitions do that as well.
See, I don't watch those either, but it makes sense, and honestly, that's pretty cool. It makes it a lot more fair.
Yeah, so this was fantastic. I hope you guys will check it out. Did you want to talk about any other runs before we move on?
I mean, no. I mean, it's pretty much the main course. There's Drew, there's Daniel Gill, there's other people. I don't want to spoil it for everyone. It was a really fun competition. Go out of your way to watch it, guys. Like, seriously, if you ever want to try UNX Now, of like giving it a try, but you don't want to like, pay the money or whatever, this is free on their YouTube, and they're going to be adding more and more of this kind of stuff soon. So I would at least watch this, see how you feel about the competitions, the production, like the commentary, all of it. Because I'm genuinely impressed, and I'm not trying to just like, gloat because I know some of the people, involved with this. Like, this was really good stuff.
And I was gonna read off the top 5 men and women, but I think I'll hold off just so you can be surprised by the runs. But some of your favorite competitors: Daniel Gill, Jake Murray, like you said, Barclay Stockett, Jessie Graff. There's lots of big names there for you to go check out, and hope you enjoy.
Yeah, and seriously, check out Callie Hughes' run, because holy crap.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about this video that you found. It's gotten a lot of traction. The top 10 hardest ninja obstacles.
Well, let's at first, I mean, let's be real. It's a clickbait title because this is not the top 10
Yes.
hardest obstacles. It's not, but what it is somebody that's incredibly fit, like known throughout the fitness world, right? Like over 500,000 subscribers. This dude is like legit, right? Going to a ninja gym and trying really hard, well-known obstacles and actually just giving it his try the first time and seeing what that's like. It's kind of like a realistic approach to somebody that's fit, but not necessarily knowing the technique involved. And what I really like about this is that Sean Bryan really goes down the minutia of the techniques involved with some of these obstacles. Like, he really explains a lot about the warped wall and things like that.
Yes, my biggest takeaways from this is I want Sean Bryan to teach me how to do ninja, and his gym is legit. Traverse Fitness in San Francisco is amazing.
Yeah. And I'm just going to be vague because I don't want to ever throw shade at anybody. But let's just say there are things that, I've been to not a ton of ninja gyms, but I've been to ninja gyms, and a lot of the things that he talked about in terms of technique, I've never had anybody tell me. And I was like, wow, I need to give that a try sometime, or I need to rethink how I do some of these.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Actually, it delayed our recording a little bit because I was getting so wrapped up in it. I didn't want to skip ahead at all. I was like soaking up every bit of that. So yeah, I would agree. It is a little bit of a clickbaity title. I would say it's the top 10 hardest obstacles at Traverse Fitness, and they're pretty legit.
I mean, yeah, they're not easy obstacles though, guys. I mean, you've got the warped
No, they're
wall,
not.
You've got what's the name, the flywheels. They've got some really tough obstacles. The back and forth salmon ladder, stuff like that.
But here's the thing, like, I love that Sean Bryan, he could have very easily just, for most YouTubers, most fitness people in there, he could have just ran them through some regular, like, oh, do the salmon ladder. He actually, like, took the time to explain on the show, you'll see it like this. We're going to amp the difficulty up by making it even harder by doing this. And the little differences in like the tension on the rolling log and things like that, he would actually make the versions that he had at the gym harder than you would see on the show.
Yeah, it was really fun. And one thing that I liked about the, I don't know this guy. What's his name again? The first name? It's a pretty epic name.
The YouTuber Magnus.
Magnus. I'll just call him Magnus. That's a dope name. Yeah, one thing that I like is that Magnus, it wasn't too cool to show him failing. You know, it wasn't like he was just plowing through all these things. I mean, he was struggling and all this stuff, and I appreciate that. It made him very, human. And one thing that really stood out to me, I don't know about you, Rich, but those darn, once again, I'm forgetting it. Stage 2, what are they called?
The wingnuts?
Wingnuts, okay, yeah. So there was this, like, giant wingnut, like, obstacle thing that Sean Bryan made where he had to basically skip the middle wingnut and go from the first to the third one. It was this gigantic transition. And they were trying to teach Magnus how to do it. And Magnus was genuinely scared because, like, you see him and he's flying through the air for like 3 seconds. I mean, the hang time was insane.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I would be like, nope, that's not going to happen, guys. But it was really cool seeing him and him slowly getting like closer and closer. And I'm not going to spoil if he actually does it or not. But I don't know. I liked seeing that kind of stuff. It really made me involved with him, wanting him to do well.
Yeah, to me, the highlight of the whole thing for me had to be the cliffhanger. The cannonballs to cliffhanger. Like, Sean Bryan is one of the best. Like, top 5 ninjas out there. I think it's pretty safe to say. Like, he is absolutely fantastic. And he had a cliffhanger set up, like a cannonball transfer to a cliffhanger that he was calling like a 10 on the ninja scale. He had like an easier ledge to catch above and then the really difficult one down below it. He's calling it like a 9 or 10. And I don't care. I'm going to spoil it. Like, not on his first try. He does make the first transition on his first try. These guys are so good. He manages to actually complete the thing on, I don't know how many tries it took him, but he did manage to do it, and Sean was blown away. Like, Sean was just like, I can't even describe it, like how impressive that is.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many good moments like that through the whole thing. The pointers that they give, the obstacles are really interesting twists on things. So, like, they do flywheels, but they're offset, unlike on the show. And they have flat grips instead of having like a ledge for them to grab hold of. You have like a ring swings, like skyhooks type obstacle, but there was like a surprise after that. So once he does the ring swings and skyhooks, there's like a log that just comes flying out of nowhere. They have to jump onto and transition across. It's like just so many neat little variations of everything that I thought the whole video was great.
Yeah, and not to mention, I mean, the vibe is great also. Like the way these guys communicate with each other and relax and everything like that. It's not kind of like, oh, my name is Sean Bryan and, I'm just featured on this show and I'm kind of stiff or whatever. Like, everybody's super relaxed, joking with each other, really fun vibe. It really makes the whole thing.
Did you know who the other guy is, by the way? I had to look them up
idea.
because I was like, who are these guys? So Anton Fomenko is the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a world OCR champion, they said. And I was like, oh, is he like, I thought maybe because he seemed more comfortable and like familiar with everything.
He was killing it on all these obstacles.
Yeah, I'm like, so what does he do that he's so familiar with this? I thought maybe it was Spartan or something. No, he's the world OCR ninja champion. Like, we should be ashamed of ourselves for not knowing this.
That makes sense, because I was like, this dude's really good. Wait, where do you even get that? Like, what competition is that from? Like, how do you get that title?
I was like, well, what the heck is that? World OCR, I guess. I need to read up more on it. I was reading a little bit here. We wanted to record, so I got to go back to it. There's this association called World OCR, and they had like 2,000 ninjas compete in this thing, and this guy, the Russians killed it in this competition.
This sounds right up my alley, Rich.
I know.
OCRs are kind of my thing, and you bring a ninja with it. I mean, I'm down to give it a try.
You have to check it out. World OCR. I got to read up more on it myself. If you guys know about it, want to send in some info, I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to compete. Ish.
There you go.
Depending on if, if I get better.
Yeah, Anton Fomenko. Remember that name because that guy is talented.
Yeah, super.
All right, so that is it for this week. Thank you all so much for listening. Next week, make sure you tune in for our end-of-year special Ninja Quiz. Bijan's a little under the weather, so I don't think he'll be drinking, but
sorry, y'all.
We'll do what we can.
Yeah, I'll make it up to you guys. I'll get, drunk another time. I don't know, maybe when I'm back from Japan or something. But yeah, not going to happen this year. Sorry, guys.
All right, but we will be doing trivia, and we'll be doing 20 questions again. So I hope you tune in.
Get ready. This is going to be a fun podcast. Rich and I, we're going to go crazy. It's going to be quizzing you guys and ourselves and that 20 questions. I am coming back for the title, y'all. I'm going to get rich this time.
Why don't I should be rubbing that in your face more often, to be honest. All right. Thank you all so if you'd like to reach out to us, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Jumping the gun a little bit, huh?
A little bit.
Hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151. In particular, hit up the Instagram really soon because I'm going to be in Japan for 2 weeks. And you're going to see a whole lot of really cool pictures.
All right. Thank you all so much for listening and have a wonderful week.
Peace, love, and deuces, and have a Merry Christmas, y'all.